absolute maniac. We already have our first Trump supporter on the line. Mr. Goatman, if you'd like to take it away and tell us why you support Trump, that would be great.
So I guess for a backstory, I served in the Marine Corps for over 5 years. There's a sense of morality, structure, personal integrity. The JJ did tie buckle. I don't know if you've ever heard about that, but it's like the tenets of the Marine Corps.
Are you saying that same morality, structure, and integrity is true of Trump?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, that's a really stupid thing to say. He has no integrity.
I don't think so.
He has no integrity.
so.
He has no integrity. He lied about the big beautiful bill that he just got passed through Congress, having no tax on Social Security. He was posting graphics on Truth Social saying that no tax on Social Security. This is why you should support the bill. The bill doesn't include no tax on Social Security. It's literally a bold-faced lie.
I think that's really easy to say when you're fighting with constituents and you have to appeal to the same political groups that push. It's not just his things. Like, there's a big part of it that I don't agree with that they put in for the gun laws, and someone's secretary deleted a piece of it, and we lost that part of gun rights, and it was for suppressors. And to say that that's Trump's fault is kind of ignorant and ridiculous.
What I'm calling is Trump's fault is that he's been saying that the bill includes no tax on Social Security. He said this before it was passed and after it was passed, even though it does not include no tax on Social Security.
But the other constituents and people who are part of the bill adjusted pieces of it. It's not
I'm saying that he said this before it was passed, okay? And then even before it was passed, it didn't include no tax on Social Security. And after it was passed, after all final adjustments made in the Senate, he was still saying that it included no tax on Social Security. He just lied.
I don't think that's a lie. I think
it is a lie because the bill didn't include no tax on Social Security.
Bill. So there's
you continue to say it's a transforming bill. Okay, I'm going to repeat this for one last time. Can you promise that you're going to listen incredibly closely to me?
No, I'm listening.
Okay, so he said that the bill included no tax on Social Security when it was originally in the House and didn't include no tax on Social Security. Then he said that the bill included no tax on Social Security. When it went to the Senate, it was revised and still didn't include no tax on Social Security. And then he said that it included no tax on Social Security when the revised bill from the Senate went back to the House and got confirmed. And then he said that there's no tax on Social Security after that same confirmed bill that didn't include no tax on Social Security was passed by the totality of Congress. So throughout the last four revisions, when it did not include no tax on Social Securities, and even after the final version of the bill was finally passed through both the House and the Senate, he was still saying that there's no tax on Social Securities. So don't just say it was changed and revised.
The suppressor changed the day before the bill was presented.
We're not talking about the suppressor.
I know, but that's a good example of the changes that were made to it that weren't by him. It was just people. It wasn't even a politician we voted for who changed a piece of the bill. If you don't think that there's an issue with that and that's inherently wrong, that has nothing to do with Trump. That has to do with everybody else in D.C.
Okay, I want you to repeat what I just said.
You said that, yes, he kept stating that there was no tax on Social Security.
Even though the bill never included no tax on Social Security.
I know, and I am giving you a physical example of how much people would change the bill. I mean, the thing's got as many pages.
But I'm saying that part of it was never in the bill to begin with.
It was supposed to. I know that. Why else would we say that? I mean, we got the no tax on tips up to, what is it, 20?
Don't talk about no tax on tips. Talk about no tax on Social Security. No tax on Social Security was never in the bill. Okay, through its totality period of revision, he continued to say that it included no tax on Social Security, and then even after it was completely revised and passed by the whole Congress. Then he also said there's no tax on Social Security.
Because other people have changed the pieces of that, yes.
Dude, are you rage baiting me?
No, not at all.
I just said that the bill never included
it. It's purely logical.
I just said that the bill never included it.
It was supposed to, yes.
But even it was supposed to, it didn't. It didn't include it.
It happens all the time.
What happens all the time? What politicians like Trump lie all the time and show that they have no integrity?
A constituent with certain districts, and he's even explained this. The constituents with different districts have different financials put into specific sections of that bill. It got stuff so full of crap that
what
it consistently got changed.
Dude.
I know this is blowing your mind, but it's how politics work.
So the bill never included no tax on Social Security. And then even after it passed both the House and the Senate, he still said that it included no tax on Social Security.
Because that was the original intent until other constituents got their hands on it.
So why would he say that the bill includes no tax on Social Security but doesn't include no tax on Social Security?
Because why would someone who isn't being paid off by big corporations touching the bill, like the suppressor thing? And there's a plenty of other examples.
Okay, you
That aren't
actually didn't
Again,
answer my
this is-
question. Okay, I'm gonna revise it. I'm gonna be very clear. So why did he say that the final bill that was passed by Congress included no tax on
Because
Social
it was
Security?
supposed to be in there.
Oh, okay. So it was supposed to be in it, so he could just say that it is.
Oh, I mean, why?
So
again,
like
the
for
suppressor thing,
instance,
you were
like
told
for
the
instance, I
suppressor
just
thing
want to clarify.
was-
I just want to clarify. If
Wait,
I'm
The
single,
tax on tips wasn't clearly
one
stated.
second,
and
sir.
now there's a
One second,
cap
sir.
on it.
One second, sir. So if I'm single and a woman invites me to a date and I'm supposed to be at the restaurant at 6:30,
This is already a bad analogy.
and it's 6:30 and I'm not at the restaurant because I'm supposed to be at the restaurant, can I lie to her and tell her that I'm at the restaurant even though I'm at home?
I mean, if you want out of that date, man.
Would
do
that
what
be
you gotta
would
do.
that be a lie though? If I
This is
told her
what
that I
kind of
was at the
analogy is
restaurant and
this?
I wasn't at the restaurant?
What kind of analogy is this?
Because you're saying it was supposed to be in the bill, so even though it wasn't in the bill, he could still
Correctly,
say it's
yeah.
in the bill.
Again,
Okay,
when you
don't
have
interrupt
a
me.
bunch of-
Calm down. Don't interrupt me. I just want to make sure that is your argument that it's supposed to be in the bill, but it wasn't in the bill. And even though it wasn't in the bill because it was supposed to be in the bill, he could say it's in the bill.
If you have people touching the bill, again, we have proof that a non-voted for secretary changed a specific part of the bill and deleted a whole wording of it. And you're going to sit here and tell me, oh my God, we didn't get the social taxes off of Social Security, which don't even get me started on that. Just Social Security as a platform as at all. The older generation, fuck that for the rest of us. But let's keep going.
So I just want to clarify. Your argument here is because a secretary changed something to do with gun laws.
Oh, that's not the only one.
Okay,
that's not the only
stop
one.
interrupting me. Calm down. So your argument here is that some secretary changed something to do with gun laws in the Big Beautiful Bill.
Yep.
Therefore, when Donald Trump says the Big Beautiful Bill includes no tax on
Anything
Social
in that
Security,
bill
you're still
is-
interrupting me.
Anything within that bill is
Why are
liable.
you still interrupting me?
Oh, get over yourself, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want to. Am
That's not
I
how debate
talking? I have a
works.
question. Am I talking to the grown man in the profile picture or the little baby? Because right now I feel like I'm talking to the little
Oh.
baby.
Yeah, we can't come up with logical reasons, so we're going to personally attack me. I understand. You're really winning this
No,
debate.
I'm just
buddy.
asking you to stop interrupting me, and you can't control
Oh.
yourself like a little baby.
That's not how a debate works. You bring up a point, and it's fallacy. I can counteract that. I've been in debate.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
let's go through it. I just want to clarify on what your argument is without you interrupting me this time. Your argument is because some secretary changed something in the bill to do with gun laws, that therefore when Donald Trump says that the final bill includes no tax on Social Security, even though the final bill does not include no tax on Social Security, Donald Trump is not lying.
No, I don't think the intent was to lie. I think that it was every intent to have that in the bill. But again, going back to, there are multiple cases of constituents with people who aren't even elected adjusting and changing and deleting things from the bill. That's not a fair assumption that he is lying.
Okay. So now your argument is because he wanted it in the bill, even though it's not in the bill, if he says it is, it's not a lie. So I have a question. If I want to be in Cabo right now, even though I'm in Colorado, if I say I'm in Cabo, that's not a lie.
A bad analogy.
Okay, why is that an unfair analogy?
Is someone playing with your flight records and changing your shit on you so you can't make it to Cabo? Like that.
Wait, I mean, let's just assume that that's true for whatever reason. Assume that I have a plane ticket booked to Cabo, and then some hacker changes
you're gonna
the
tell people
destination.
I'm going to Cabo.
So you're interrupting me. So imagine I have some plane ticket booked to Cabo, right? And then some hacker hacks in and changes it to Australia. I get on the plane, I wind up in Australia. Would I be lying if I turned around and called my mom and told her I was in Cabo?
When your flight ticket has the same amount of pages as the Lord of the Rings, I think that's a pretty easy assumption, yes. And I wouldn't judge you for that. I'd be like, yeah, that's pretty logical. He thought he was going to Cabo. Who the fuck would fuck with his vacation?
So if I'm in Australia
But hang on,
and
stop,
I
hang on.
tell
Don't-
my
no,
mom that
don't
I'm
interrupt
not
me
in
now.
Australia,
Why
I'm
would-
not lying. So I just want to clarify, your argument is, if I'm in Australia and I call my mom and I tell her I'm in Mexico, I'm telling the truth? That's your position? What am I talking to? Do you? Wow, we gonna play fairy tale make believe. Fucking holy shit! Let's just make the world and realities we know it whatever we want it to be. This is outrageous.
Hang on. No, stop. Let's even look at this from another perspective. Why would you not look at the person and ask, hey, why did someone change my shit? Why am I not in Cabo? Why is no one else?
It was never included in the first place.
Why would we not ask that? Why is it that there were people who aren't elected officials who changed things in the bill last minute before it was submitted? Why are we not questioning that as a society?
So we can question that.
You go to
and
Trump for that, but that has nothing to do with him.
So we can question that, and we can have a conversation about that. As soon as we finish our conversation about how Donald Trump lied about there being no tax on Social Security in the bill.
It's not a lie. If
now,
that's what
once again, there's your first strike. So here's what I'm going to treat you like a toddler. I really am. I'm going to give you 3 strikes, 3 interruptions. After 3 interruptions, I'm going to mute you. So right now you're in your first, little boy. I'm going to go to repeat myself. So we could have a conversation about like non-congressmen or women, like changing stuff in the bill. So there's your second strike. So one more time, and I'm going to mute you. Now I'm going to restart. So we could have a conversation about secretaries or non-elected officials changing things in the big, beautiful bill after we finish our conversation about how Donald Trump lied about the bill, not including tax on Social Security. So your first argument was to say, well, somebody changed something in the bill. It was supposed to be in the bill, then a secretary took it out of the bill. Okay, so first and foremost, that's just wrong. So no tax on Social Security was never included in the BBB. Second of all, even if this was true, if somebody changed the bill and redacted its inclusion of no tax on Social Security, well, from that moment forward, if Donald Trump claimed that the bill had no tax on Social Security, Donald Trump would be lying, right? So regardless, even though what you're saying is false, if it was true, Donald Trump would still be a liar the moment it was taken out of the bill. Now, to your second point, your second argument was to say that he wasn't a liar because he wanted it in the bill. Okay, well, just because you want something, if you don't have it, you can't say that you have it. I want $1 million in my bank account. But if I don't have $1 million in my bank account, if I tell you I do have $1 million in my bank account, I'm still lying to you, right? So that is a debunk of your 2 arguments. And honestly, man, like this is really easy to understand. Like honestly, the child in your profile picture would probably like understand this better than you, and that's really depressing. But let's see if you could respond back to the 2 like counter arguments I just gave you to demonstrate, right? Regardless if somebody changed the bill, if Donald Trump said it was in the bill after, you'd still be a liar, but nobody changed the bill. It wasn't included from the start. And then the second argument was, well, even though he wanted it in the bill, because it's not in the bill, he can't say that it is. And my analogy there is that if I want $1 million in my bank account, if I don't have $1 million in my bank account and I tell you I do, I'm still a liar. So at this point, you should just concede.
That's not a lie. If every intent was to have that in the bill and someone else changes it, how does that make you a liar?
Because it's not in the bill?
No. Okay, so let's use my analogy. Okay, let's say that you're sitting down and you're with your investor or your bank, and you're talking about a new business, and you have every intent, because a loan is based on trust. So you have every intent to sit down with them, and this is my business. Let's say it's cupcakes or whatever, blah, blah, blah. You're going to make this amount of money within this amount of time for the bank to pay back this loan. And your personal sales, you show them your bank accounts, whatever, how much money you make, yada, yada, yada. You sit down and you don't make that money. Does that make you a liar?
If you turned around and you told them that you did that make much, you did make
you
that
were
much money,
going to make that money. That's not a lie. No, the thousands of businesses do that every year. Every small business started off with that loan. So you just said every small business now is a liar.
If there was a single small business that said they made $20,000 in a month, where they didn't
go
make
look up how many small businesses
that's
go
a
under
lie.
because of that business. That's not a lie.
What is a lie?
It's the intent. It's the intent. Like
I have a
to.
question. Can you tell me what a lie is?
Yeah, it's unwilling. It's not telling the truth.
Oh, so not telling the truth. So I just want to clarify: was Donald Trump telling the truth when he said that the bill passed through Congress had no tax on Social Security?
If every intent of it to be there was there, yes, that's the truth.
So something can be true without being true?
If that was the intent,
what is it? I have a question.
What
What does it mean for something to be true?
Something to be true is that means like it's got factual information. You can redo it over and over again.
Okay.
It can be
it just it aligns with reality, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. So did Donald Trump's claim that the final bill passed through Congress included no tax on Social Security, did that claim align with reality? Did that final bill actually include no tax on Social Security?
If that was his intent, then yes.
So your answer to the question, did the final bill include no tax on Social Security, include no tax on Social Security? Your answer to that question is yes?
So, yes, because if you sit
okay, well then please go ahead and show me in the bill where it included no tax on Social Security.
1 second.
Why are we even doing this? Because it didn't. Why are you doing this to yourself? Like I don't know why you're doing why am I debating some like delusional ass motherfucker? Like, dude, this guy's lost.
It's not delusional. Why are you ignoring the analogy too? You just said that everybody is a liar because they're a small business because a loan is based on trust, and you just said they're all liars.
So if a small business said that they made $20K last month and they didn't, that small business lied.
No, they're going to talk. You don't know how much you make as a small business.
Oh, so you're talking about a projection. Okay. All right. Well, we're not talking about a projection here because remember, Donald Trump said that the bill currently includes this. It's not a projection of the future. That's a statement of like the current. Okay. And then also there's nothing to project after the bill was passed. Okay. When the bill is passed, the bill is done. And he still claimed that it had no tax on Social Security. But we're still waiting for you to go ahead and give us a part of the bill that included no tax on Social Security.
Yep. 1 second.
Man, you know it's crazy. It's crazy that I do this to myself. I don't know why people claim to be such delusional MFers. Yeah.
So it states that no, it does not eliminate all taxes on Social Security benefits. It does provide significant tax relief for many Social Security recipients.
Right, precisely. So the bill gave a $6,000 deductible to individuals on Social Security over the age of 65. But a $6,000 deductible on Social Security is not no tax on Social Security, meaning that it's a lie.
It's not a lie. You're still getting a benefit. I don't know why you would cry about that.
But that benefit isn't no tax on Social Security. It's just less tax on Social Security.
Is that not a good thing?
So it's a good thing to have less tax on Social Security, but this doesn't mean that when Donald Trump said that there was no tax on Social Security,
why is your focus on like he's a liar, but he still did a good thing?
Because you claim that he had integrity. People with integrity don't lie.
That is integrity. He still did something good. Again.
Okay. So the total impact of the big beautiful bill, by the way, is estimated by this University of Pennsylvania.
You tell me 100-something million people
the total impact of the big beautiful bill, by the way, via estimates from the Wharton School of Business from the University of Pennsylvania, is that the tax rate for everybody making below or around $51,000 per year will increase, including those on Social Security. But anyways, I just want to clarify that this is you now shifting the goalpost because your original claim is that that wasn't a lie. Is your new position now that it was a lie, but you just don't care?
No, it's not a lie. Every intent was to do good, and he did good.
Okay, so let me clarify.
And you and I both agree with that. It's a good point.
So imagine that my friend is in debt to me, and my friend owes me $100,000.
Okay.
So if I go out and I make it so my friend no longer owes me $100,000, they just owe me $90,000. So I reduce the debt that they owe me. That's a good thing, right?
100%.
So even though I did that good thing, if I then turned around and just told them that now they owe me nothing, even though they still owe me $90K, would that be a lie?
That's a huge, significant, and less benefit. You're not helping them.
Well, I'm helping them by taking $10,000 off of the money that they owe.
That's subjective to helping them. I think not getting taxed on my total amount is more beneficial than if you were like, hey, I changed the interest rate on this to 0. I'd be like, oh, that's way better.
Oh, okay, for sure. We'll do that. So imagine I was charging him an interest rate of 10%. And I went from charging him the interest rate of 10% to charging him an interest rate of 1%. If I told around and I told him that now he owes me an interest rate of 0%, did I lie, even though I did change his interest rate from 10 to 1?
No, because you really helped them there. I don't know if you know the difference of 10% of $100,000.
So if I change it and I make it so he owes me an interest rate of 1%, but I tell him that he owes me an interest rate of 0%, that's not a lie.
That's not the same thing.
That is the same thing because you're telling us that even though Donald Trump didn't eliminate all taxes on
hey,
Social
this is
Security
this-
because he.
and
So I just want to clarify that
you did a good thing.
this is a point. This is a great point because you're telling us that he didn't lie, even though he said that it completely eliminates tax on
The
Social
difference
Security.
is, did you tell me that at any point were you trying to make it where I didn't have to pay anything? Yeah, I mean, make it as low as possible, to make it as cheap as possible. At the end of the day, I'm the one who owes you money, so I'd be, if I was the friend, I'd be like, thank you, irregardless.
Okay, so basically your position is that Donald Trump did lie, but you don't care because
It's
he
not
still
a lie.
did it. Okay, man, how is it not a lie to lie?
It's not a lie. Every intent was made to have it.
But
so
but
you
but but,
can
but
have absolutely
I
no
just need to
taxes.
know here.
They-
It doesn't matter because they still owe some tax on Social Security. So if he
Correct, but
claims
that's
that they
because
owe no
other
tax,
people made
listen,
it
listen,
that
listen,
way.
listen. I have a question. Are you saying that it is simultaneously true? Okay, is it true or false? When Donald Trump says that now there's no tax on Social Security, is that statement from Donald Trump true or is that statement from Donald Trump false?
That would not be true now, no.
So the statement is false.
As of now, no, because someone changed
So
it.
when Donald Trump says that there's no tax on Social Security, that statement is false. That statement is therefore a lie.
As of now, like today, yes.
Okay, so right now, today, Donald Trump is lying.
Did he say that right now, today?
Yes, he
Right,
said that
sorry.
after the bill passed. He said no tax on Social Security. This is what the bill includes. Yes.
Right now.
Yes.
Like that
Yes, that
happened
is
right
my
now.
claim. Yes, that he did this
now you're
before the
lying.
bill passed, and he did this after the bill passed.
Provide
It's being
the clip
reported
of
on by
it
fucking
happening right
everybody.
now with
Bro,
the timestamp.
literally go to his goddamn Truth Social account. You will see a
No,
post saying no
you-
tax on
you made
Social
the
Security
statement.
from last night.
You made the statement. Provide that statement right now, today.
I'm
right now.
giving it to you. Donald J. Trump on Truth Social posting a graphic saying no tax on Social Security last night after the bill passed through Congress.
No, I'm talking about right now.
Why does it matter if it's right
That's what
now?
I said. That's what I said. Did he say it right now?
He
That
said
was
it
my exact words.
last
I repeated
night.
it 5 times.
He said it last night after the bill passed?
Again, we're going to go back to there are enough pages in this bill to be the same length of the trilogy of Lord of the Rings, and we still got a benefit.
Hey, everybody, this is what a very estranged, deranged cult member looks like. He can't even admit that Donald Trump was lying when Donald Trump straight up lied. This is what deranged cult members look like.
Why do you have to personally attack people that you disagree with in a debate?
Man,
It's a scientific thing.
man, the thing here is like that personal attack, quote unquote, was
Yeah.
as true as the claim that the sky is blue.
Oh, okay. I'm
And
sure of
I have,
that.
I have a question. You know, I just want to see like the bounds of your cult mentality here. Would you vote for Donald Trump if he perved on naked teenage girls? Would you still support him?
Yeah, you're gonna pull up this clip. You tried to do that earlier when you started the stream earlier.
Yeah, I
and
mean, I want to see what your take on this is as a member of a cult that also happens to be a father of what seems to be a little girl in your profile picture. Let's go ahead and roll the clip and let's see what your thoughts are.
As
Conflict?
yes.
I don't see it as a
It
conflict.
could be a conflict of interest, but you know, it's the kind of thing you worry about later.
Oh, I see.
You tend to think about the conflict a little bit later on.
question is, how can it not be construed?
No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, you know, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
Well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now, tell
Well,
me
I'll
what-
tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, you know, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. You know, I'm inspecting. I want to
right.
make sure that
You're like a
everything is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? You know, they're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
So this man has a daughter, but this man is also like just straight up a member of the Trump cult. So what is your takeaway there?
Wait a minute. So you're gonna use him talking about how he has to inspect the people of a beauty pageant and saying that they're beautiful, good-looking women, when the whole point of judging a beauty pageant, is how good-looking the women are? What?
Okay, all right.
That's
so,
the whole purpose. So every judge of a beauty pageant is that same person, and they're a creep, and they go after little girls.
So the beauty pageant, the pageant judges, they'll judge.
He owns the pageant.
So the judges they'll judge them when they're on stage. Right.
Oh my
Donald Trump
God.
didn't look at them while they were on stage. I mean, as he said in the clip,
He said that they were beautiful, they look good, and you're going to sit here and say he's going after little girls. But you got another guy who's dimensional.
He went into
He has
their,
dimension, and he's
hey,
talking about...
Hey, goat man. He
Oh,
went
sorry.
into their changing room
Yeah.
where only women and teenage girls were before the show without their consent to look at them while they're naked.
Oh my God, he literally just said that I'm there to inspect the pageant. It would be no different than any other owner.
I don't see it as a
So
could-
just listen.
You tend to think about the conflict a little bit later
The
on.
question is, how can it not be construed?
No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
Well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now, tell me
I'll
what-
tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Okay, so right now, already off the bat, we know that he's going backstage before the show. Judges don't go back. One moment. Judges
Keep
don't
going.
go backstage before the show. Judges judge during the show. So that first comment was ridiculous.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And,
So he goes backstage before the show while everyone is getting dressed and ready. Okay, so we now know that they're in their dressing room.
no men are anywhere.
And this comment is even like further justified because he just said no men are anywhere. Listen to that.
Before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere.
So he's going into the woman's dressing room before the show where there's no men.
And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
You're like a
everything is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay?
So then he says that he's allowed to do it because he's the owner, meaning that he allowed himself. And he says he does it because he's inspecting it as a joke to cover up the fact that he wants to look at the women and the girls. And this quote-unquote joke is picked up on by the woman sitting in the room because she laughs. And this joke is also picked up on by Howard Stern because he says, right, you're like a doctor, right? Okay, no, he's not like a doctor. He's not a doctor. He's not a doctor at all. He's a businessman. So obviously, you're just making another counter joke to Donald Trump's first joke. And then listen to what Donald Trump says.
Hey, they're standing there with no clue. Is everybody okay? And
So then we know that he's going backstage to quote unquote inspect it. That's a joke. And they're standing there with no clothes. So they're naked. That's what you are when you have no clothes on. You're naked. So he's going back there to look at them while they're naked.
you see these incredible looking women.
And then he even affirms that. He says that he's looking at them while they're naked in a woman's dressing room. And he's seeing them. And now he's talking about how incredible they look like without clothes on.
And so I sort of get away with things like that.
And he knows he's not supposed to do this. He knows that he as a man isn't supposed to go into a woman's dressing room where there's no men around, only women, with naked teenagers and naked adult women, to look at them while they're naked. And then, therefore, at the end, he says that he kind of gets away with that because he owns it and he allows himself to do it. And none of the women or girls really spoke up at the time. So do we understand now this isn't just the same as like a judge of a beauty pageant?
So, well, I've got a few counter statements there. One, provide any fact of people being offended or bothered because he went in there and it wasn't just an inspection.
Okay, for sure. Well, first and foremost, when a man goes into a woman's only space where there's naked women,
Okay.
that's gonna be set up to be a bother. And then second of all, it doesn't matter if it didn't bother, like for instance, the teenagers, because teenagers can't consent to that. It doesn't matter if a 25-year-old man sleeps with a 15-year-old and that 15-year-old girl doesn't seem immediately bothered because they're 15. They were raped, right? But third of all, they were bothered. Many of them have spoken out about this. In fact, we have one of them come up on this live all the time. Her name is Victoria. She was one of the 16 or 17-year-old contestants at the Miss Teen USA beauty pageant. And she comes up onto this live every so often, and she'll talk about how Donald Trump would walk backstage before a show. And you could even read the testimony of around 10 other of these women, some as young as 15, and how this happened to them and how it was incredibly traumatic.
You can provide that?
Yeah, for sure, you could read their
No,
testimony for
you can
yourself.
provide that right now, that there are statements and testimonies.
Yeah, for sure.
At this specific beauty pageant he's talking about.
Yes. But can we agree that even if there wasn't from any of the teenagers, that's still wrong because teens can't consent to that?
You're going to tell me that the parents of the teenagers aren't there either? I mean, I wouldn't send my kid to a pageant by themselves.
Do you think that a parent can consent to a teenager being perved on by an old man?
If they were telling me that's the whole point of a beauty pageant is people looking at teenagers clammed up, dude. I don't know what else to tell you. I think they're weird in the first place. I think
You're a father.
you're glorifying young women and children in the first place.
So you're a father of a young daughter. Do you think you have the right?
I'm not.
Is that a young son?
Yes.
Do you think that you have the right, as the father of that son, to consent to having older people take pictures of your son while your son is naked?
If I was dumb enough to send my kid in, it's no different than a baby commercial for diapers.
Can you answer my question? Do you think that you have the right to consent to 65-year-old men looking at your son while he's naked?
I wouldn't allow it.
Do you think
That's
that
my
you have the
responsibility as a
right?
father.
Do you think that you have the right to allow it? Do you think if you did allow it, that you would be violating the consent of your child?
They have no choice in the matter whatsoever. It's my decision as the parent. And I wouldn't put my kid in that situation. That's why I think pageants are weird in the first place. I would never.
Amen. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I think that you don't deserve to have any custodial rights over your child. So for those watching, their handle is goatman91096. It's going to be their handle. If there happens to be anybody in here that's good at has like facial recognition software,
You can find me. It's fine. Nothing I said was wrong.
Okay,
I just said that the kid doesn't get to make the decision.
What's your name?
I would never put them in that situation.
Okay, what's your name?
And why are you trying to dox people, dude? That's weird.
Because I want to find who you are so I could call CPS and have them take your child away from you.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure you would like to try to do that.
Yes, I would. So
They would never even do it. That's the best part.
Okay. What's
Because
your name?
I would take the part, and I have a witness sitting here who's heard me say I would never put my child in that situation.
Okay. So what's your name?
So don't worry, move the goalpost too, by the way.
So you said that you think that parents have every right to exploit and traffic their children. So
No, that's not what I said.
So I'm not going to debate it with you. That is what you said. So I just putting this out there for anybody. Feel free to take his profile picture. Maybe you could go on to tiktok.com/his handle. You could save his profile picture, run it through some reverse image search. Maybe it will link back to a Facebook or something where you could find his name. And if you do find said information, that's public, by the way.
You're more than welcome
Feel
to.
free
There's
to
nothing
feel
wrong
free
with
to
what I
take that
said.
information and report it to CPS. Feel free to take that information and report it to the law authorities in his area. Feel free to take that information and report it to maybe his local CPS, etc. Child Protective Care, Child Protective Services. Feel free to do that. I'll go ahead and leave him on the live for around another 20 or 30 seconds here before we kick him, just so you guys, anybody that's interested in trying to do this, can grab his profile picture. Anybody. By the way, this is all screen recorded over on the YouTube stream. So I'll leave him up here for a little bit longer, so you guys can get his profile picture, get his name. Goatman, feel free to unmute. Is there any information, maybe even his following list here? Is there any information that you'd like to give us about yourself? Maybe what state you live in, what your name is, any information like that?
Oh yeah, I live in Wisconsin. I have my kid. You're not going to do what you think you're going to do. I don't know what your intent is here.
Okay.
You're doxing someone because you're losing a debate.
What's your name?
My name's Thomas.
So Thomas from Wisconsin. What's your last name?
You're not entitled to that.
Okay, so Thomas from Wisconsin. That's a really good start. So he's from Wisconsin.
Yep.
Is your name Thomas or Nicholas?
No.
Your name is not Nicholas?
So hang on. So you said that I.
Okay. So his name
Hang
is
on. Wait.
his name is Nicholas.
No, it's not actually. That's funny.
Okay, great. So you guys have now gotten everything that you need. Just know that like I am totally fine with you guys making that report. I mean, I think that we can all agree here that we care about children's safety. And that was a father that said that he believes he has every right to exploit and traffic his child, and that the child has no say. So I don't mind if you guys take that information. Now, don't post this on the internet. Keep this information with the authorities. You know, don't post this information on the internet. Use any information that you're able to find to go to the authorities. I fully support that. I don't support turning around and posting it on the internet. Take it to the authorities.